Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Tuesday, the 17th of December 2024. Today's Millwall news, we start off with another update to the new manager search, and there doesn't seem to be any concrete information, really, just bizarre stories and rumours. So this is from the irishmirror.ie, and they've got an exclusive. And it says Shamrock Rovers boss Stephen Bradley emerges as a target for Championship side. Millwall in the market for a new manager following the departure of Neil Harris. Millwall Chiefs will pay close attention to Shamrock Rovers' Europa Conference League clash with Chelsea on Thursday, with Hoops boss Stephen Bradley emerging as a candidate for the vacant post at the Den. Bradley is one of several names on the Championship side's wish list, Mirror Sport has learned. So apparently they know that Mill have a short list and they know that he's on it. Apparently. And Thursday's trip to Stamford Bridge, just 10 kilometres from Millwall. Now, is it? I think that they've done what a lot of people from outside London have done. And when they want to know where Millwall is, they actually, when they do that, they link it to the Isle of Dogs, to the area of Millwall and the Isle of Dogs, rather than Millwall Football Club, which is in, as we know, South Bermondsey, just off the Old Kent Road. And 10 kilometres, what's 10 kilometres in real distance? Is that like 5 miles, 6 miles? Is Stamford Bridge, which is not in Chelsea, it's in Fulham, it's on Fulham Broadway, is that 6 miles from the Den? Maybe there or thereabouts, actually. Maybe there or thereabouts. So they might have got that right. Gives them the perfect opportunity to watch the Dublin in action from close quarters. His exploits in Europe this season, as well as his record in the League of Ireland, has earned him plenty of admirers across the water. Emil were on the lookout for a new manager following the departure of Neil Harris. He stepped aside after last weekend's defeat to Middlesbrough, a result that left the club 13th in the table. Rovers are just one of 3 unbeaten teams remaining in the Conference League. Wow. Really? Out of 36 clubs. Ooh, that's good. Heading into the final league phase game. Qualification for the knockouts is already assured, with the Hoops still hopeful of leapfrogging February's playoff round and progressing straight into the last 16. To do that without requiring results elsewhere to go in their favour, they would need to secure an unlikely win over Chelsea and end their 100% record in the competition. A draw or loss, aligned with favourable results in other games, could also secure a top 8 finish for the side, currently 6th in the table. Bradley was previously close to taking the Lincoln City job, but opted to stay at Rovers. And why would he not again? Like, he's got the knockout stages of the Conference League to deal with, and that's literally all he has to do, because that's all they're focused on, because the Irish League is a summer league. So Shamrock Rovers have, the only games they're playing are the European games and maybe the odd friendly here and there. Should Mill pursue their interests, the attraction of a championship club of that size could prove too great to resist. Harris made the decision to step down last week on the eve of their game against Sheffield United, a game they lost 1-0. It's his second time to leave the role, having previously quit in 2019. Mill's director of football, Steve Gallen, a former Ireland under-21 international, will be familiar with the work of the Dubliner, both on the domestic front and in Europe, as too are many of the other decision makers at Mill, having raided Rovers 2 years ago to sign Ireland under-21 striker a dome maker from the Tallaght Stadium side. Despite Harris making his decision to step down a week ago, Mill are prepared to take the time before appointing a permanent replacement. And then David Livermores stepped up as temporary head coach, assisted by Adam Barrett, Andy Marshall and Kevin Nugent. There are plenty of managers with Championship and Premier League experience currently on the market, and Shelbourne boss Damien Duff has even been mentioned as the long shot in some of the betting odds. However, there is a view at the club Bradley's exploits in leading Rovers to 4 Premier Division titles in a row, an FAI Cup, and 2 European group stages make him a serious contender. That is good stuff. That is good. Especially, they're clearly not, they're not flashing the cash. Like, he's cutting his cloth accordingly, and he's making do with what he's got, as far as I can tell. I don't think they're not spending vast sums of money. Obviously, when you get in that position, you're basically the first choice for probably, I imagine, any Irish player that's in. It's quite much like Celtic and Rangers. I would imagine that any player from most of the other clubs would go to Celtic or Rangers if they had the opportunity, if they were interested in him. So I would imagine if Shamrock Rovers are interested in you and you're in the League of Ireland playing for, I don't know, Waterford Town or Limerick or someone, I would imagine you would jump at the opportunity to do so. So that gives them the opportunity to soak up the best talent, I would imagine, especially because they're in Europe, and that gives the players a chance to do that as well. So yeah, we'll see. But one person who won't be, seemingly, is this man, Gary Rowett. It's been mentioned. This is from footballleagueworld.co.uk, but it's been mentioned. I think it was first broken by a journalist who is friendly with Gary Rowett, Percy from the Telegraph. Not like I think his second name's Percy. It's not just some bloke called Percy. So Mr. Percy from the Telegraph, if you will. So yeah, he's going to Oxford United, that Midlands club. Well, they are kind of Midlands, but the thing with Gary Rowett, I think he's been around most of the Midlands clubs, hasn't he? And he's kind of run out of options, really. He's got Lincoln, Luton, Peterborough. Like, he has to go further afield because he's done Burton, Birmingham, done Stoke. There's obviously others that he's done, and then like obviously Aston Villa and Leicester City, they're above a level that he's at. So Oxford United it is. The Gary Rowett in advanced talks to succeed Des Buckingham. Here we are. That's according to the Telegraph's John Percy. There you go, John Percy. A report on X at former Derby County and he was at Derby as well, wasn't he? Stoke City boss is in pole position to take over the helm at the Kassam Stadium. So there you go, and so we played him on New Year's Day, do we not? So then I'm obviously not going to go through all of that stuff because I don't really care. I'm just letting you know that it seems that the chance of him coming back, however slim it was, isn't going to be happening. Now, let's take a look at the latest odds. Again, it's only one betting company offering odds at BetVictor. This is from oddschecker.com. And the thing with this, none of these prices really matter until you get odds on. As soon as you get odds on, once the bookies go crazy and they slash the odds and it goes odds on, basically you can guarantee that it's going to be happening. So we have Stephen Schumacher is now 3-1. Mark Robbins is 10-1. Ryan Lowe 12-1. Matt Bloomfield's gone all the way out to 14, but he's come back in again. So he must have gone out and come back in to 14s. Alex Neil's 16s. Jose Mourinho is still hanging on with 25, but that's gone out a bit. So if you don't know, red means the odds are going out, which means getting larger, which means it's less likely to happen. Blue means the odds are coming in, which means it's the odds are shortening. They're getting smaller, which means it's more likely to happen. But so the thing with the betting is that, and you can see Gary Rowett's going because the Oxford thing. The thing with the betting, and we can go through all the names. I'm going to go through the names because I'm looking for someone. He's not here. So I just told you the story about this guy here, Stephen Bradley. So this story splashed on the Irish Mirror at 4:45 this afternoon. That has done nothing. his name has not even been added to the list. The only thing that this list is money laid down. Money laid down. That's why Jose Mourinho is still at 25s. Because if we go down and we can see, so these are all the bets, most popular bets. Mark Robins, 24% of the bets are for Mark Robins. 20% of a Stephen Shoemaker, so that's grown quite a bit, which is why his odds are shortened. Matt Bloomfield is 17% of the bets. 10% of the bets are for Jose Mourinho. People are crazy. Why would you do that? Unless, I guess it's like £5, like £10. Bet responsibly. You only bet what you can afford to lose. But I mean, damn, you've lost that because that ain't happening. Steve Cooper, 7%, 8% basically, and then everyone else who isn't one of those, 20%. So because no one has bet on Stephen Bradley, his name's not on the list. So you can have all these exclusives. You can have in the Mirror, in the Sun, in the Telegraph, until someone puts money on it. It's not going to go on the list, and it's not going to mean anything to this. So there you go. Yeah, that's basically it for the update for the new manager. Like I said, I don't think we'll be getting one until after Christmas. Because who wants to start a new job at Christmas? Especially one that will keep you away from home at Christmas. That makes no sense. You know, that's the reality of it. Now, I told you that this would be happening, but it's probably a day later than I thought it would be happening. The pictures from training with the standing, and yep, here we go. David Livermore, he's at the front, in focus, and Adam Barrett is behind. He seems to be quite happy not to be the man in charge this time. Which is, I don't know why, but you see it around a lot of the fans, Mill fans, I don't know if a lot of them, but just the ones that are loudest. They seem to have it in for Adam Barrett for some reason. They don't know him. They don't know anything about him, but apparently he's the reason why everything's gone wrong. And he should be gone. And the reason why they said it is because he was there when Gary Rowett's here. He was there when Neil Harris is there. And he's still here now. So they imagine that once he goes, everything is going to be fine. Just bizarre logic, I guess. But based on nothing because they don't know anything about him. But it's not him this time, and he seems to be quite happy about that. Instead, it's David Livermore. So here we go. Mill's first team squad returns to training at Camera Road on Tuesday morning, led by temporary head coach David Livermore and assisted by Adam Barrett, Andy Marshall and Kevin Nugent. Take a look at a selection of the session in the gallery below. So there you go. He's got the whistle. He's got the ball. He should give the ball to the players, lad. We've got Shaun Hutchinson back in training. Apparently, he might play at the weekend. There he is. That is. None of these are Andy Marshall. I haven't seen Andy Marshall yet, so I don't know. Was he there today? I don't know. Now, moving on to this, like I said, from southwarknews.co.uk, Mill skipper back in training could make his return this weekend. Mill captain Shaun Hutchinson returned to full contact first team training today, as we just saw in the pictures, and could be in contention to feature against Blackburn Rovers on Saturday. Hutchinson, 34, has endured an injury this season, missing the Lions' last 3 fixtures with a hamstring problem. The centre-back was sidelined for a month in October with a separate injury and has managed just 8 league appearances this campaign, starting 4. Interim head coach David Livermore suggested Hutchinson could make his return soon. I will have to take it day by day this week, Livermore told News at Den. He's done his stuff with the physio, so he'll train today. We just need to work out what the back end of this week looks like. So, but he should be back in contention for the weekend. When asked why Hutchinson was not named to Mill's matchday squad against Middlesbrough last weekend, Livermore said, "Oh, he hadn't done enough training, so today will be his first real group training session. He dipped into bits last week, but we kind of looked after him. He was just used as a floater, non-contact, but he'll have a full session today." So, Shaun Hutchinson used as a floater. Okay, now, we've got the announcement today. What was that, nearly 5 weeks after the 11th of November, how much money was raised by the Mill Sports. So the Mill Sports raised £23,817 for the Royal British Legion. The total was gathered from bucket collections, poppy sales and more ahead of the club's annual remembrance match on November the 3rd. So even more than that, so six weeks it's been. The thing is, the reason, obviously, they had to wait until the auction for the shirts. Normally, when they put the shirts up for auction, they only put it up for a week or maybe less than a week, like 6 days. For this, they kept it up for 3 weeks, which I think they did that to try and get more and more money. So there is that. So more than £18,000 was raised from on-the-date donations, smashing the previous record by about £3,000. Wow. The Lions wore poppies on their shirts throughout the game, which saw them defeat Burnley 1-0 and move up to 7th place in the Championship table. After the game, the shirts were signed by the players who wore them and sold at auction exclusively on the Matchworn shirt website and app, making up the rest of the £23,870 grand total. Yeah, the thing with that as well, I just remembered, they kept the same shirts because obviously we had our game, but other clubs had their poppy games as well. And I believe we wore the home shirts away in maybe 1 or 2 games, and then we had to wait for them to go on sale, so that's why it's taking so long for this to come in. This is the 4th consecutive year Mill fans have raised more than £20,000 for the Royal British Legion. Donations allow for expert advice and guidance to be provided, as well as recovery and rehabilitation initiatives to help armed forces personnel transition back to civilian life. A Mill FC spokesman said, "The club would like to thank all Mill and Burnley supporters for their immense generosity, and a special thank you also goes to Mel Bingham, who expertly oversees the fundraising each and every year." Indeed. Well done, Mel. Now, again, they're still writing stories about him. The man, the myth, the legend. It's been, we're talking about new managers. We've got odds coming in, going out. We've got exclusives. This person's linked, that person's linked, but still, they can't stop talking about him. They can't stop talking about him. So this is from the southernnews.co.uk. Neil Harris reveals what he will miss hugely about being Millwall boss. I wonder what that is. Neil Harris said he couldn't be any prouder of the players, as he revealed that he will miss hugely after stepping down as Mill head coach at the weekend. Of the players in the Lions senior squad, Harris signed 6 of them during his first spell at the club from 2015 to 2019. And those are Shaun Hutchinson, Ryan Leonard, Murray Wallace, Jay Cooper, George Saville and Tom Bradshaw. Harris also gave Billy Mitchell his competitive debut in 2019 after bringing Danny McNamara into the senior squad for pre-season 2016. Harris, 47, started his coaching career at Millwall in 2013 and brought through a host of young players such as Ben Thompson, Aidan and Brian, who often referred to him as a father figure. Well, yeah, at the time he was the under-21s manager, wasn't he? Was it called under-21s then, or was it under-19s? I think it was the under-21s. And that was a role Harris embraced as the club's manager and head coach. I couldn't be any prouder of them, not just their development as footballers, but as men and husbands and fathers, Harris said after Saturday's 1-0 defeat in Middlesbrough. A big stretch of mine is that, I get invited to a lot of ex-players' weddings, which is nice. I sat with an ex-player on the train yesterday, and he was on the same train as us to travel up here, and he sat with me for an hour, and that was beautiful. And that's a big part of my love for the game. I love leading the change room. I love being a father figure to 30 players in a group and staff, and and the under-21s. And everyone has my phone number. Everyone knows I'm available 24/7, and that's a big part of it. And when I'm not working, I'll miss that usually. Harris clapped the away supporters at the end of the match as they chanted his name, but he revealed why he didn't want to draw out the moment for too long. I was emotional because, they've trusted in me for a long time, Harris said. Ultimately, they've been relentless in their support of me and my family and my love for the football club, and I didn't want to dwell on that moment, I wanted the players to get the appreciation for a strong first half performance, and I want the football club to move forward, So thank you to everyone that supported me, thank you to all the fans that travelled. But it's not now about Neil Harrison and what's happened over the last however many years. It's about what happens next week and onwards. Indeed, it is. What happens next? Where do we go from here? Down to the river, I fear. Now, if you've made it this far, you are probably one of the people who watch this channel religiously, and you've been probably watching it for a long time. And I do very much appreciate that, so much that I need to give you some information, right? So over the next couple of days, maybe the next week or so, the video, obviously this video is very late. I'm recording it like 1 a.m. and there's a reason for that, and that may happen again over the week. I might even have to miss a video or two and then do a catch-up video. My old mother has had a stroke. She's in the hospital. They are keeping her in case she has any more. Apparently she's fine. They say she's fine. It's just like a mini stroke, but I mean, you hear the word stroke, that's not a good thing. But apparently, like, once you've had one, it's like Pringles. Like, once it pops, you can't stop. You might have more, so they're keeping her in for like observation and checks and stuff. So that may impact the channel over the next week or so. So just letting you know that. So probably don't wait up if you're of that mind. It might be very, very late. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.